Yo guys, what's going on? My name's Matt and I invest in Pokemon cards. In this video, we're going to start our $100 a week investing journey. Every week, we are going to invest $100 into the cards you see before you. When new sets come out, we will also add the cards that we will be targeting to this tier list. Now, I have been doing this challenge for the past 3 weeks. I actually normally invest just $100 a week into Pokemon cards. Sometimes if I see something that I really like, I will invest more. But for the purposes of this challenge, we will just be doing $100 a week. Now, for those past 3 weeks, I have only targeted cards that are on this tier list. Some of them including the Mega Dragonite Full Art. I also have a couple of copies of Froakie. But after we come back from the show and show you guys what we picked up for our challenge this week, I'll show you our entire Pokefolio, as you can say. This week, we're going to be targeting two bigger cards. I really want a nice copy of this Mega Clefable or a copy of this Mega Gengar Full Art. Those are the two cards that I will be really actively seeking. And then I will also be really trying to look for a nice copy of this Marshadow here with the Pikachu, aka the Babe Ruth of Pokemon, as I like to call him, poking out at the bottom there. So if I was to get the Mega Clefable and the Marshadow, that would leave us with $10 more. So I think that'll probably fit in either an Zekrom or maybe an Alakazam, or that could even fit in, a couple of copies of Zacian. So there's a lot of things that we can do. If we really see a nice copy of the Mega Gengar, we'll go with that, and then maybe a copy of the Marshadow. So let's go to the show. Sometimes at the show, you'll see something that just looks great, and we'll pick it up. Could be any one of these cards. I'll see you guys after the show.
1 day later.
All right, guys, so yesterday we went to the card show and we were able to purchase 3 new items for our Pokefolio. Before we get into that, I just want to show you guys what we purchased over these past 3 weeks for $300. The first purchase that we made was a Mega Latias EX. Bought this from a really nice vendor. His name was Polify. Bought it for $90. And overall, just a stunning art here. I think we can all agree on that. And the vendor was honestly a really nice guy. Had a great conversation with him about Akira Igawa and some of the artwork that Akira has done. So just overall, a great interaction. I love when vendors have a real passion for the cards that they're selling. So honestly, out of all the cards that we bought, this was probably the best interaction with a vendor that I've had, and things like that is what makes the hobby really fun. Next, we have the Clefairy here. Picked up a really nice copy of this. Guys, when you're picking up this card, make sure you're looking at the centering of this card. I have actually seen a lot of copies where the centering can be pretty off. Also, for these illustration rares, always make sure that there's no whitening on the corners, obviously, but some of these corners can get a little funky with the illustration rares. So for this card in particular, I would definitely take a look at more than anything, probably the centering. Next, we have a Mega Dragonite EX Full Art. Again, I've said it before, the foiling on these cards are just out of this world. Can't wait to pick up the other ones. We do have one more that I'm about to share with you guys in a moment, and that is the Mega Lucario EX. Now, one thing about this card is that it comes in a promo box. Now, I want to make you guys aware that any of those promos, always make sure that, yes, the centering can be great, as this card is. All of the corners can be very nice. On the back, there can be no whitening, etc. Centering on the back is really good. But always be careful with these promos of scratching on the back of these cards. When these cards, such as these promos, are in these boxes, they're rubbing up against, the plastic, and they're moving around while they're in there. So these cards could definitely get scratched on the back. Just a little tip for you guys. Next, we have 2 copies of Froakie. Really nice card. Really like it. And then we also have 1 copy of Frogadier. This will kind of be a theme going forward. We'll probably have way more copies, or we will have way more copies of Froakie going forward, considering I think, based on our last video, as you saw, that this is an S tier card compared to Frogadier, which I actually put in the B tier. I wish one thing about this art that they did have was that they showed maybe even just a little piece of Froakie in the bottom here in the water. I know that they show the Mega Greninja here in the top right, but what would have made this card even better is if they would have showed Froakie down at the bottom here. But honestly, the Froakie art is really nice. I really like it. I love these little pops of different colors from these flowers down here, and honestly, when you get it in the right light, it honestly looks like there's a lot of sunlight that's going through the water. It's really nice card overall. I like both of these cards a lot. Next, we have the Wigglytuff. Again, I've said this before about this card. The foiling on Wigglytuff's eyes are really nice. Love all the Jigglypuffs on the card, and I just love all the musical notes that are on it. I love this card. Really nice card. Guys, remember, when you order cards such as this one that I did from TCG Player, you have to be careful because centering is not considered part of their, I guess you can say, near mint or lightly played. Their condition is what I'm saying. So this card is a little bit off center. And it actually has like a little bit of almost like a really rounded corner here. And there's not really much that you can do. If you were to complain, probably nothing would be done, honestly, just because it still meets the qualities of a near mint card. But just something to think about when ordering off of TCG Player. I've done it a lot. I really have not had a bad experience. But just know that when you're doing that, you're always taking the chance of maybe getting a card that's pretty off center, things such as that nature. So just something to think about. However, the good part about TCG Player is when you receive a card that's really nice. And for this Xerneas card, we ordered it off a TCG Player, and we did just that. It's a really nice copy of this card. Really like it. Honestly, just a stunner of an artwork, and honestly, just in the right light, looks really nice. A lot of these cards, as you can see here, have actually gone down in value. This Xerneas, this Froakie, and this Frogadier have gone down a few dollars. I believe these cards have been fluctuating between $1 and $2 differences. The Clefairy, interestingly enough, and actually for our benefit, guys, is that this card has gone down a little bit. I purchased it for $35. It was actually hovering around that $32 range when I picked it up. Obviously, you know, sometimes when you go to a card show, you pay a premium from some vendors. I was okay with paying that extra $3 just for the condition of the card. But this card has actually finally gone under $30. I actually saw a vendor yesterday that had it marked for $27. It was actually extremely off center though, so I didn't pick it up. But honestly, if you can find this card for under $30, I think it's a steal. I think this card, like I said before, is one of my S tier picks. So if you can find it for under $30, make sure you go ahead and do that. Mega Latias here is actually just at the cusp of hitting $100. I checked earlier, it's around $96 to $97. This might be one of those cards where we might not be able to purchase it as soon as next week. But guys, always in the Pokemon hobby, be patient. There's always another card. You never miss the boat. There's always another boat that's coming to dock. So really don't worry about that. We can always find another card just as nice as this one that we can add to our tier list and add to our Pokefolio. So let's get right into the cards that we picked up yesterday. First, but certainly not least, we have a $10 Alakazam. Something to think about is that I picked this card up in the plastic. This card currently does not have a premium if it's in the plastic compared to when it's not in the plastic. Something to think about when you're picking up copies of this promo. I would certainly suggest to pick it up in the plastic and not out of the plastic unless you see a copy out of the plastic that looks really nice, really clean, great centering, such as this card. The only issue with this is obviously I can't see if there's whitening on the back, which there may be. I'm not sure. I don't think I'm going to open this. I think I'm just going to keep this sealed for the foreseeable future. If we do get into grading later on, I think it's centered enough where I may take the chance of opening it. When things don't have a premium in the plastic, that's when you can really take a chance and see if it's worth sending in for grading. You really have to make that decision at the time when, okay, do I really want to potentially lose $20 for ripping this plastic off and then just whitening on all the corners, things like that. There is a way to see, if there's whitening, you can move the cards around and things like that. But I don't like to do that. I feel like it damages the cards. And remember, guys, the more you handle cards, the more there's a possibility of, whitening happening on the corners, etc. Okay, next we have a Marshadow. I mean, I think you guys knew I was going to pick this one up. I was actively looking for this card yesterday. Got a really nice copy from a really nice couple yesterday. Great people. And, that's one of the reasons why I like going to buy at shows. Not only do you get to obviously see the quality of the card, but you also get to interact with some great people and become a part of the community. And that's, a lot of the draw for a lot of people into Pokemon, and definitely one of them for me. One of the things that really took me by surprise with this card is when you hold it in the right light, the red on Marshadow's eyes is probably actually my favorite part of the card. Really beautiful card, stunner of a card. Love Pikachu on the bottom, as we said. So glad I was able to pick up a really nice copy here. And finally, and last but not least, without a doubt, we had to get the Mega Clefable EX. You guys knew it. I just kept saying its art is growing on me, and I just had to pick it up. I found a really nice copy from a guy. Funny story, there were actually 2 copies at the table, and I was looking at both, and both looked really nice, but obviously for the $100 challenge, I can only purchase one. And I just kept looking at these cards. 2 minutes went by, 4 minutes went by, 5 minutes went by, 6 minutes went by, and then I just kept looking, and I said, all right, I got to make a decision here within the next 10 seconds. Took one quick look at the cards, said, all right, this is the one that I want. I go to pay the guy, I'm looking at my phone, I'm Venmoing him. I look back up, I forgot which card I picked. So I had to take another few minutes to just make sure, okay, this is the card that I picked, compare them again, and I was there for another 2-3 minutes just making sure that I took the card that I originally wanted. Really funny story, but honestly, just happy that we're able to find a really nice copy of this card. As I said before, love the Clefairy on the bottom left here, and in person, this card is just a stunner. So really happy we were able to get a really clean copy of this. All right, guys, so after 1 month of our $100 a week investing challenge, we paid a total of $402 for all of these singles. Now, these singles on the current market, the value is a total of $378.09, giving us an unrealized loss of $23.97. This was a lot of fun to do. I had a lot of fun making this video for you guys, and I can't wait to give you guys the update in our video next week. However, I also wanted to let you guys know that I'll be doing some more live updates on this Pokefolio on my Instagram account. I'll be showing you guys some footage from the show. I'd hope to really do that in some future updates of this Pokefolio going forward. I just get a little scared filming at these shows, but maybe one day I'll gain the courage to do that. So if you guys haven't followed me on Instagram, I'll leave a link in the description below. Make sure to go do that. I've also been thinking about potentially having other Pokefolios, such as what if we invested in cards that are predominantly red or predominantly have ghost type Pokemon, fairy type Pokemon, Pokemon that are pink, etc. I think it's a really cool idea. I haven't really seen many other creators do this, if any. So let me know your thoughts on that in the comment section below. Guys, it was a pleasure. See you guys in next week's video. Peace.